Now, the crack of a Christmas cracker it starts this Merry Christmas and everyone in jubilation around the dining table for surely millions of us, right? We love popping those things. But for some of us this year, it hasn't happened. When pulling on their cracker, there was silence. And we've got this tweet here. It says, "We have removed the snap from this cracker to ensure it is completely recyclable. Part of our journey to make Christmas a celebration of responsibility." Well, joining me is the man who made that tweet, the head of lifestyle economics at the IEA, Christopher Snowden. Now, Christopher, to be honest with you, I can't imagine anyone worse to have given a notice to that reads just like that one than you, frankly. How did you feel when you saw this? And did it actually genuinely not make any sound whatsoever?
Oh, yeah, no sound whatsoever. So we pulled one, didn't make any sound. That can sometimes happen when you get a duff cracker. So we pulled another one, that didn't work either. And then we pulled out what we thought was going to be a joke, as some people would say. Maybe it is a bit of a joke, which is what you've just seen there, and how Christmas is a celebration of responsibility. Where would we be without a more responsible Christmas? So, yeah, they want to make these things 100% recyclable. I'm not really sure that this is going to be a game changer for the climate, to be honest, whether you have a tiny bit of gunpowder in a piece of paper or not. But yeah, this apparently is the world we live in. And this is in the House of Commons, by the way. This was during the Lords and Commons Cigar Club Christmas luncheon. This is what I was at. Yeah, you can imagine it didn't go down very well.
Yeah, I can well imagine. But I mean, is this a sign of a broader trend, though, Chris? Because if this is happening in Parliament, you know, at the seat of power in this country, I, for example, you know, went into Marks and Spencer on a last-minute sort of, I'll pop in and get a few bits, and they've got those bloody awful paper bags. And it's raining outside, Chris. Is this just a sign of environmentalism, making our lives that little bit more miserable with each step?
It is, yes, it is. I don't suspect these crackers are going to be very commercially successful. These were bought in by, I think, the House of Lords, and they've obviously decided this is a good virtue signalling opportunity. I don't imagine many families will be voluntarily buying them. I think if people buy them by mistake, they'd be fairly upset. So I think probably the forces of the free market can probably defeat this, unless, of course, the government is going to bring in some legislation to make these the only crackers you can buy. I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Michael Gove is already thinking up that wheeze.
I mean, to be honest with you, Chris, I'm surprised that you were actually sat there presumably having a cigar. I mean, do they let you do that sort of thing in the House of Commons these days? Rishi Sunak, of course, talking about banning it altogether.
Yeah, well, I mean, the dinner was, or the lunch was just by the terrace. Obviously, you can't smoke indoors. Or legally, technically, you can actually smoke in the House of Commons because it's a palace, but they have a voluntary ban, as you would imagine. But you also can't smoke on the terrace, out in the open air. And in fact, I believe there's only one place. We were told that if we wanted to have a cigar, we would be escorted to the one place in the parliamentary estate where that is allowed. I think it's probably in the absolutely back and beyond somewhere, in some horrible plastic shelter, maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, every year you compile a list of stats showing the nanny state index of comparing countries around Europe, and then with us, of course. Now, I'm wondering, will you be including these kinds of measures next year? It's going to be, well, we're going to be screaming our way to the top, are we not?
With the Sunak prohibition of tobacco, yeah, absolutely. You're going to have to create a whole new category for that because, of course, we're the only country doing it now that New Zealand has decided otherwise. So, yes, I mean, yeah, obviously prohibition, full prohibition. And by the way, I would expect to see full prohibition within about a decade. I don't think this step-by-step sinking lid, which, the age of smoking, age at which you buy tobacco gradually increases. I don't think that's going to last very long. I think in 10 years' time, tobacco is going to be completely illegal in this country, and we'll be dealing with the fallout from prohibition. But look, yeah, that's 100 out of 100 in terms of the points for the nanny state index. If you ban something completely, you can't get any more nanny state than that.
Yeah, I just see all of these moves, and to be honest with you, I just feel a deep sense of dread by it. A crackerless Christmas as well. It's just so depressing. Even that those two words together, a crackerless Christmas. And you just think, what's next, right? There's going to be no turkey because, you know, that's evil or something like that. That's polluting the environment. There's going to be no fun, no festivity, just pure miserableness, Chris. That's what's coming. So will the free
days of
market
all
save the
come
day?
again. Yes.
Will
The
consumers save the
purists,
day?
yeah. Sorry?
Will the consumers actually save the day through the free market? Is that what we need?
Well, only if they're allowed to, you know, and that's the thing. If people have a choice, they will choose, you know, the most enjoyable option, generally speaking. Certainly at Christmas, and maybe not so much in January, and we feel a bit guilty and we put on weight and so on. But again, that's up to people what they want to do. But obviously, the problem these days is that increasingly the government is making our choices for us.
Yeah.
And they're not, in fact, our choices, which is why they need to force us to do things and prevent us from doing other things. It's constant banning. Every political party seems to be in a competition to see what they can ban next, you know, and it is very depressing, you're right, Darren. But still, Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, indeed. We'll have fun regardless of these nanny statists trying to tell us what to do, Chris, I'm sure. But Christopher Snowdon, thank you very much for your time as ever. That's Christopher Snowdon, the Head of Lifestyle Economics at the Institute of Economic Affairs.